All right, now we should be back, guys. I think we finally have this whole technical difficulty problem here, but let's get back into this, guys. Break down this matchup here. We're semifinals. Stevens Point, UW-Stout. Doesn't get much better than this here. KB Willett Arena. Break down this matchup here as we're getting ready for the opening face-off.
Well, like I said before, Stout's been right with Point this whole season. They've been very annoying for the Pointers. They only lost one game to them. The Pointers only lost one game to Stout in Stout, and it was in overtime. A really, really hard-fought battle between these two teams. It's going to be a really, really good matchup tonight. They're going to be really physical, and I think it's going to be a really good game.
I definitely agree with that, and honestly, between these two teams, I mean, they're here for a reason. They're both really, really good. Sorry if my mic's not close enough. Anyways, these teams are really, really good, and that's why they're here in KB Willett Arena for a semifinal matchup here. So it should be a pretty solid game tonight.
Should be a fun game. You're absolutely right here. Semifinal round, game one. Game two, obviously, tomorrow. Same place, same time. You're listening here. Pointers Hockey right here on WWSB, Stevens Point 90 FM here. And Liam, what are some key things early as the puck goes right out of play?
Some key things early is you got to be kind of physical, kind of let yourself set the tone. Don't let them set the tone. Don't take any penalties. That's a big one. I know that might seem like a given, but a lot of times in tournaments, they take a penalty, a really nasty penalty, really, really early, and that kind of throws them off. And they already have to be down a man.
One thing we were surprised to see here in warm-ups, Alex Proctor dressed and skating on the ice. Now, Ryan Wagner's in the net for the Pointers. The lineup, Northy, Ide, and Fader, along with Tice and Hannigan and Wagner out there. That's the starting lineup. But here's a quick shot there by Bunting off the edge. Stevens Point on the attack right away. Pass up to the slot, nothing doing. Nice save there made by the Stout goaltender. Here's a shot. That one just goes wide for Falls. But in the net here tonight is Tyler Manstrak for the Blue Devils. A good season for Stout, kind of defying the predetermined kind of expectations for them. Not a lot of people thought that maybe this team was going to be contending for a WIAC championship and a potential berth at the NCAA tournament. But yet here they are, 4 seed, and a really good 17-win team, I believe, on the year is Stout. And if you remember, there was a dogfight earlier in the year here in KB Willett Arena. The Pointers just able to come away with a victory, but each matchup this year, I mean, apart from kind of a blowout win that Stevens Point had up in there, each one of them has been close.
Yeah, definitely, without question. And it's a credit to the Stout team. They've been playing really well this season. Kind of had a little bit of a skid mid-season, but they've found their way back here.
Face-off, tie-up wins, eventually comes away to Stevens Point. Here comes Falls on the push, and that's going to be offsides by about 2-3 steps. But as they do just lose it. No, but Stout gets it. Yeah, that was going to be offsides. And I think Stevens Point saw that, Liam, and was just like, all right, let's just
get on the forecheck, take up as much time.
Yeah, be okay with a turnover there.
Just trying to take up as much time, maybe force them to make a mistake.
Masternak with the poke check there, and ooh, the puck hit the side of the net. That looked dangerous. Fletcher Anderson has scored a goal in each of the games that Stevens Point has played against Stout this year. Here comes a chance of a man advantage here, 3-on-2. That nice skate there as that shot goes right into the glove of Masternak. But early here, 18:04 to go in this one, in the first period, I should say. This one, a 2-1 was this series this year. Stevens Point winning the only game here in KB Willett Arena. 2 games up in Superior, up in Menominee and Stout against the Blue Devils. Superior and Eau Claire are the other teams in action here tonight, and we'll keep tabs on that as there's a quick shot up top there by Ide. And Masternad almost misplayed that a little bit as he looked like he was maybe off by a few steps. Nonetheless, Stevens Point still has it in their offensive zone. Moberg fighting with David Hill, along in the corner there. Pair of Blue Devils in there, and Noah Perez and Max Tetrel. There's a quick, lazy shot that just pops straight up in the air, and Ide's going to have it. No bank pass over to Moberg.
They're going to go for a change here, dump it in and go for a change.
Both sides playing a little sloppy here. Again, coming in here a little late due to some technical difficulties, but we should have all that figured out.
Well, I think they're playing a little slow because they're still trying to figure each other out and, find their weaknesses and stuff.
The shot goes out of play. If you're watching the SPTV broadcast here on YouTube, Abby Kufahl doing the camera work for us here tonight. Obviously, Brody and Liam doing the call up here with me.
We love being here.
We love being here. It's as close to a sellout here of KB Willett.
I mean, what more do you expect?
You're absolutely right. As they announced earlier in the week, free tickets for 300 students. Ooh, there was another quick shot. Nice pad save there.
Just going to say I did get my free ticket.
You got your free ticket. We got a free ticket, too, actually.
Getting
up here at the booth, technically. But either way, Stevens Point now. Here's Humberstone with a quick rip, and that one goes off the side. Got to like the aggression here, guys, by Stevens Point early, getting right onto Masternad, and not going to let him establish the crease here early.
It's definitely good to be aggressive here.
Oh, there's a big hit. Oh, my goodness, it's going to be offsides. So nothing will come out of it, but both players skating very gingerly back to their benches. Oh, my goodness.
I mean, like we're saying, being physical here tonight, it's going to be key. If they want any chance at winning this, they're going to have to just be physical and just play good hockey, play quarters hockey.
They're going to have to, play aggressive. That's the key to it all. They got to play to their level. But, man, that was a big collision just to be an offsides call.
Well, like I said, we want a big hit, kind of set the tone early, and I think that did it.
Here comes Sean Bunting. He gets it over to Connor Witherspoon. He tries to pass it to the slot back to Bunting, but that pass gets intercepted by Hade. Quickly up the ice. And they're going to lose control of it, but a turnover almost by Stevens Point. They do get it, and here comes Falls with it. Falls loses it. Now Stevens Point has it again. Bunting going to get it to the open man. Gonrowski, he does a little backhander, nothing doing. Not a really good shot there by Nick Gonrowski.
He tried to be fancy with it.
don't want to get cute and try to make all these fancy plays to light up ESPN World kind of thing.
Exactly.
But no, you're absolutely right, guys. This is two really competitive teams, and when you look at they match up really well with one another year, night in and night out. And one thing I want to talk about is just this WIAC is just a tough conference to compete in. Each night you're going to find a really good team, and you look at the last round that that Stout had. Stevens Point had, of course, the first round bye, but Stout had a really good River Falls team who was one of the hotter teams in the WIAC, and they're able to get out of that with a series win. But guys, looking at this, each night you're going to get a good team, and obviously the auto bid in the NCAA tournament means everybody's playing for everything. 2-on-2 opportunity. Here's Andrew Polias. Fletcher Anderson scores!
You knew he was going to score against Stout. Let's be honest. It was
Continues
coming.
his streak. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, he just lasered one right past Masternack.
Top right shoulder, I think it was.
Beautiful play there as Stevens Point, early aggressors here offensively, results in a 1-0 game.
Well,
Wow.
we said they had to set the tone early. About not even 5 minutes in, they've already on the board first.
So Stevens Point grabs the 1-0 lead, and they will have the lead for the moment.
Hopefully just continue to hold it, but it's a good Anderson goal there. I mean, you kind of expected it tonight with his success against his team. I mean, scoring a goal in each game this season.
So he's averaging a goal a game. You're absolutely right there, Brody. But
he's been very, very productive for this Pointer squad.
Offensively, and Fletcher has just been tearing everything up. And this is where Stevens Point gets dangerous, because now they have the scoring momentum in their favor. And if you're Stout, the goal for Stout was you needed to get off to a hot start here. This is not a place where a lot of people come in here and beat Stevens Point. I think only one team during the regular season has outright beat Stevens Point here.
In regulation.
Sure, there have been ties here, and I believe it was Hamlin that actually came here and beat Stevens Point. But other than that, there have been no teams no team in the WIAC has come into KB Willett Arena
and gotten away with a good win.
With an outright in regulation win.
I think that's in part due to the student section. I mean,
Yes.
Day in and day out, they're just monsters there behind the far net. So whenever that second period comes up, I have no doubt in my mind that they're at least somewhat responsible for the goalie.
No, you're
I
absolutely
definitely
right. It's a sellout every day, every time there's a game for Stevens Point.
I mean, people like to come to these games. I definitely like coming to these games. It's a lot of fun just between calling them and being, in the student section. It's always a great time here at KB Willett Arena.
Fader and Boyce fighting for it alongside the corner in there, as well as Halverson, Armatario, and Falls, as now Armatario has the puck. Squirt back to center ice, and Stevens Point's going to have to reset offensively. Quickly dumping it up to Bunting, and that's going to come across, and icing will be called. But if you're Coach Krieger, you really couldn't have asked for a better start. You got 1-0 after one, and I think the question is, every time in any sport you have kind of a first-round bye-in things, you kind of wonder where your team is going to be. Are they going to be a little rusty? Well, Stevens Point's come out, and obviously there's a lot of game left, but so far, so good for Coach Krieger and company.
Well, you got to remember, there's a reason that they're the #1 overall seed. They might be rusty, sure, but that still means that they're one of the best teams in their conference.
The top two teams in the WIAC this year got byes, that being Eau Claire and Stevens Point. The third seed, Superior, got everything, really. They got everything they could ask for out of Northland last week. Actually lost the first game and then won the 2 games. Remember, in the WIAC tournament, this is in the semifinal rounds now, it's a 1-game situation in the championship. But in the everything leading up to the championship, you have to win 3 games, and if you split the first 2, it's an extra period kind of thing, which we are kind of all in agreement up here. We think that's
not
a tad silly.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because I really don't think 1 period is enough time to decide a game.
And
like we've been
that's-
talking about, it's like momentum-based,
The momentum kicks in for the team that just won the last game, and they kind of just go in and kind of sweep it almost.
So regardless of tonight's game, Stevens Point could win the game 50-0. there is a game tomorrow night, and so they get the lead. And we talked about it in the pregame. How important really is this game one here?
I mean,
on your opening ice, how important is it?
Important as any other game, really.
Oh, big
tough
hit as Bunting laid down Petrol, and he slips. Man, this ice, guys, looks a little slippery. We were talking about it
slick.
even before we came on the broadcast that this ice is pretty beat up and pretty slick. Another collision in the corner there. Nice hit. Ide took out the defender Connett.
Crowd showing their approval of that.
I mean, I know ice is pretty slippery, but
Dawson Chirino, he does a lot of magical things with the puck. He's got a few unassisted goals on the year, guys. There's a trip, and I don't think they're going to call.
Well, I think the reason they're not going to call that is because the linesman's the one who tripped him.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I mean, I don't know if you could call it. Now they're just
No.
onside. Here comes a quick shot. That one goes off the chest pad.
Ooh, a little bit of pushing and shoving after the whistle.
Save made there, and that looked like Stuckert.
Yeah, Chirino and Stuckert getting into it. Chirino is kind of a goon. Last week, or a couple weeks ago against Superior, he was really showing that he was goony.
Well,
but he's got he can walk the walk and talk the talk, too.
That's true.
He can back up what he has to say.
In Superior's game here, the one we won in overtime, he had the overtime winner, walked in all alone and put one right past Miles Hector. He's got very silky gloves. He's probably got the best hands on this team, in my opinion.
You're absolutely right. Face off, puck flies up in the air and finally grabbed here by Stevens Point. Still fighting for it in the offensive zone. Ooh, big collision in the corner there.
A little bit up high.
Here's a quick shot up front. Oh, looking for a redirect there as Humberstone was looking to try to make this a 2-0 game. Big hit in the corner there, Moore, and Chirino has it again. Moore with some nice hustle there. Stout trying to clear it over. Here's Stewart. Stuckert, actually, rather. He'll quickly get it over, and just dumping it and getting a line change is Stout.
Well, I think Stout's kind of still trying to play with Point. You know, they're still trying to feel him out a little bit, but they're already down 1-0, and you know they got to try to get something going here. Otherwise, they're going to be down 2-0.
Not much of an offensive threat by Stout at all today. But if you're looking at it for Stout, what do they do better than anybody else in the WIAC? What is something that they can kind of hang their hat on that Stevens Point has to be prepared for?
I mean, maybe it's power play. I'm not sure how Stout was on the power play this season, but probably better than Stevens Point has been on this season, which, you know, for a Stevens Point team like this, it's kind of unnatural to be, tough shot.
There's a
Wagner
nice
saved
save
it.
there by Ryan Wagner. But this is a team, I would say, the hustle by Stout. That's something that they bring in every game, their hustle. And that's something you got to prepare for. And, yeah, you're absolutely right about power play. This team is really good as well for Stout. But that hustle, each play, each loose puck, Stout is going to be running after it. And that's something that Stevens Point's got to keep in mind, because remember a couple games ago, Ryan Wagner kind of came out of the net, lazily played a puck, and the opposing team scored on that.
And it wasn't even a good shot. He just kind of threw it at the net.
And he's hustle here by Stout is that puck now is Backstead is going to get it out, and here comes UW-Stout trying to tie this one up. It's 1-0. Nice hip check there by Ide.
Ide really laid the boom there.
Big
Oh, boy.
hit.
Brendan Boyce.
I mean, he's a big guy already.
Yeah.
6'5".
Well, remember what I said about Point trying to set the tone with being physical and all that? I think they're really doing that now.
Point gets a line change in here. We approach close to the midway point here in this very fast-paced opening period. Fader with it, now gets it back to Humberstone. And there's a stoppage in play here. But 10:39 to go here in this first period, guys. So far, Stevens Point has been the aggressor, Stout really just hasn't had the offensive possession a lot here tonight. But we look at this, Stevens Point has been a team that kind of season, they have not been a very good first period team. They've been a team that has been, after that first intermission, that they've been really, really tough to beat. But it's got to be good to see that your team is kind of doing better here in an area where they have relatively struggled this year. Ooh, does that puck go off of a teammate, not a play?
Well, they have, like something we've talked about a lot, is they have a lot of experience from playing from behind. And while we're all in agreement that you probably shouldn't be accustomed to playing from behind, they're probably the best ones to do it.
Brody, I see you're looking at updates of the other game that's in action, Superior and Eau Claire.
Still 0-0 in Eau Claire between the two teams. I mean, pretty good matchup over there too. But, you know, that might change a little bit.
Superior, one of those teams that Stevens Point, actually the only WIAC team, along with River Falls at Stevens Point, 3-0'd this year. Everybody else, they're 1-2 games lost, or in the case of Northland, tied.
One in shootout.
Yep, absolutely right. But guys, has there been a thing that you're thinking Stevens Point, what else do they need to do at this point?
I think just, I think the thing they can do very well is just get more power play opportunities when they can. I mean, obviously your penalty kill is going to be tough, but, get more power play opportunities and score on those power play opportunities.
No, I definitely agree. They really need to get something going on the power play, especially here in the postseason now in tournament play. That's going to be something I think that's going to either make or break this squad, especially if they go to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, as Pointer's trying to get something going but can't seem to find the puck.
Stout's been playing really, really defensively. They're good on the forecheck, trying to keep it in the zone as long as they can, and they're doing a really good job of that so far.
Yeah, this Stout team, thanks guys for taking over there. This Stout team, big time takedown. Wow, I cannot believe nothing was called on that.
Witherspoon not really happy about that.
Looked like he horse-collared Witherspoon.
And pulled him down to the ice.
That is insane that wasn't.
We try to be as non-biased as we can, but I think to a lot of people that's kind of a call every time in some capacity. Now there's a little bit more pushing and shoving going on after the whistle. I can't believe that. I would say in mind that probably Point's not too happy about that.
No, I cannot believe that there was not a call. I can't.
It's crazy, almost. I don't know how you missed that, but, they're not going to get everything right. That's just the nature of the game. But, if they got to start calling something soon, just, so these guys can stay safe.
There has not been a penalty yet. Now, knock on wood, as soon as we say that, the announcer jinx happens, and there's going to be a 10-minute major ejection, and, that would be something.
I have no doubt in my mind that's going to happen at least once this tournament. Somewhere, maybe not in this series, but somewhere it's going to happen. I'm sure.
It might, because this is team seasons here, and now for Point, we've made the argument, and you guys talked about it in the new segment on SPTV, the tailgate, and Brody and I talked about it last night on the sports beat right here on 90 FM. Stevens Point, while they might be in pretty good position, I think that they're the only team in the WIAC that could theoretically lose in the conference tournament and still get in. So if they lose, they're not necessarily out, but all these teams have, this is their season. They lose, they're done.
Exactly.
And so it's not like these guys are playing for nothing. You win the WIAC tournament, you're in.
You go to the NCAA tournament. They're playing for
a
lot here.
To play for here.
So, I can't imagine that temperatures won't be high. They're going to be really, really upset with a lot of the non-calls.
Nice move there by Backstead, but he just goes a little too far up the ice, and eyed for Stevens Point has it. Big collision in the corner there. Ooh, a little
bit of an extra shove there at the end.
Chirino decided to lay out a player as the puck goes off a stick, and just covering it up there is Masternak. Dawson and some words in after the play.
Well, Dawson's a little bit of a, he kind of stokes the fires a little bit after.
He's a starter. He's looking just getting under the guy's skin and just.
He can certainly do that. That's for sure.
Look at Superior last week.
And he can back it up too. That's the thing,
Absolutely. He had absolutely. You're right. The game-winning goal that Chirino had this year. You are not going to find a much better goal than.
That was beautiful.
It was as good as it gets. Player loses a stick, and That was Boyce there for Stout, so they're in essence down a man right now. Instead, now he grabs a stick and a turnover there by Harrison Stewart. Where's the puck? There it does finally squirt free and fighting for it at center ice here. And now Stevens Point comes away with it. Isaac Moberg going 1-on-4, now 2-on-4. Got Cody Moline. Nice collision there alongside the boards. That was an area you were pointing at earlier, Liam. Did you see something in that corner there? Maybe a board was loose?
No, it was an attempted hand pass, but the refs waved it off. So
okay.
a Pointer player must have nicked it, and that's what they saw.
That was that corner of the ice. I remember earlier this year there was a little bit of like malfunction or whatever. That is where the opposing team comes in on the ice, and here comes Stout on the nice defense there by Wilson Northey as he just takes on Diakawa. There's a delayed penalty, and I think it's
be on Stout.
It's going to come on Stout. I think they're going to hit Diakawa with it, and
Pointer faithful really showing their approval now.
Be interesting to see. I think are they going to get interference for this, but they could get a number of things on that because that was a little bit of a push.
Just a little bit. Only a 2-minute though.
I think they called it a charge, I think is what that was. We'll see for certain, but
they do hit Diakawa with that, so it's going to be Stevens Point on the power play here. An area where they just struggled at the beginning of the year, and now they're starting to get really hot in that. One of the games they played against Stout, Brody, they scored 2 power play goals. Absolutely right. Quick clear there by Stout on that one, so bad start. Well, they did lose the face-off here, but now nice quickly dumping it there is Stevens Point. Here they come on the push.
2-on-1.
2-on-1 opportunity that pass the slot. Here's a chance up front. Oh, that puck flies up in the air. Perfect play idea, just couldn't execute. Chiarino now has it, gets it over to Pulias. Pulias fires, and there's a guy in the lane. That ends that threat. Stevens Point now slowing it down, just going to set up the offense. They get it up to Chiarino, and that goes through his legs. And
officially, they're going to say that penalty is roughing.
Roughing is the penalty on Diakawa. Here comes Dawson. Stevens Point now on the push. Chiarino trying to go 1-on-3, trying to do a pass to himself. Interesting play there by Chiarino.
Trying to get really, really fancy.
I mean, he's been fancy before, as you said.
5 new legs on the ice here for Stevens Point. Falls, Armatario, Bunting, Witherspoon, and Junker for the Pointers. For the Blue Devils, Boyce and Fottle, Hayde alongside, obviously, with Masternad in the net, and 26, Caleb Sear on the ice, with Diakawa in the penalty box. Lines Judge Rowan talking to Falls there alongside the boards. I wonder what that was all about.
Might have been talking to Boyce, actually, I think.
Losing the stick here. Good clear so far by this Stout penalty kill. This is an area where they've been pretty good this year, too.
Well, a lot of WIAC teams really have been good on the penalty kill.
Unfortunate bounce there off the skate. Nice clear there by Sear.
A lot of WIAC teams have been really good on the penalty kill this year. There haven't been too many teams that have kind of struggled with that.
Junker racing up the ice here for Stevens Point. He'll put the brakes on, now get a big hit alongside the boards. Stevens Point trying to capitalize on the power play. They already have the 1-0 lead. Can they make this 2-0? Martario's going to shoot one that goes 10 feet out of play.
I'm going to say that was deflected.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think so.
No way you just rip it up in the air like you're...
Well, you never know.
Trying to get that home run angle.
He was trying to...
Some of these guys take slap shots that
kind
really...
of basketball lob it, but they forgot this is hockey, not basketball.
Some of these guys take slap shots that, probably shouldn't be slap shots.
Now, this is a team that, they outshoot opponents by a remarkable close to 12 shots.
They're not afraid to take shots.
No, absolutely, but
not a lot of them are good shots.
Got hit by that puck, but that's an area where Stevens Point maybe saw Ashton Parker signaling for icing there, but I think he forgot that Stout was on the power play. We can see him in the band, and we're gonna poke fun of him.
We love you, Ashton.
We'll poke fun of him as much as we want. But 5:55 to go here. Stevens Point. Ooh, nice outlet pass right up to Fader. Great vision there by Harrison Stewart.
Looks like power play's killed here.
Good job by Stout killing off the first penalty. Even strength for both sides. And Stevens Point not able to capitalize on the man advantage. Here's a opportunity up front. Ooh, there was a opening there, but just missing it. Maybe influenced there by the closing Stevens Point defense. But there was a golden opportunity for Stout to tie this one up.
Well, I think one of the pointers got down into the lane, and that's why it went wide. If so, really good defense by the pointers so far.
Stone is going to hit the ceiling with that one. I don't know. That one, I think maybe he scooped a little too much, took a little too much out of it. Got the little sand wedge out and just nailed that one up.
It is golfing season almost. Well, any season's golfing season if you go in the right place.
The Masters is in April. So that's always an exciting time of year down in Augusta.
Wasn't there a tournament happening here in Point, too?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The Senior Open Century World will be this summer here. Here's a chance for Stevens Point up front. Oh, my goodness, a chance for David Hill. And he just couldn't convert. Ooh, that had 2-0 written all over it, guys.
To be honest, from where I'm standing, I thought that one was in the back of the net.
And Masternad was talking to the judge, Schroeder. I don't know what in the world.
Fan favorite here in Stevens Point.
You're absolutely right. Tim, you were alluding to, people were calling for Schroeder
He's
in a basketball game.
Little bit of a cult classic so far with the Pointer
Sam
faithful.
Ide. Oh man, there was a chance in the slot for Northey. There was an open net, but good poke there by Boston. Ooh, nice move there, but he loses it. And here comes Stevens Point on the push. Wilson Northey raising up the ice. It looked like he was trying to set up a rebound for Point. It looks like Masternad maybe stuck the leg out there and tripped up Fader a little bit, but Stevens Point has it anyway.
Well, Schroeder, a little bit of a cult classic here among the Pointer faithful. His name's kind of well known amongst the student section.
I remember we were doing a basketball game earlier this year, and there were some members of the student section asking they wanted Schroeder. And,
after a couple of questionable ones.
Yes. That there has certainly been. The Pointers men's basketball season came to an end a couple weeks ago. And sure, they didn't finish on the mark that they wanted to, 10-15. But that is a tremendous
better season than I had.
It's a different theme. Based on a
almost
team
three
that
times as many wins as last season.
Team that won only 3 regular season games last year. Tremendous leap forward, and the future is definitely bright for the basketball team. And other Stevens Point related stuff that happened earlier today. The women's team took on Eau Claire, number 7 team in the country. They lose 2-0. There was only one earned goal, empty net goal that you were talking about, but for Stevens Point,
that's pretty good.
No, absolutely,
that's really good.
That's the 7th-ranked team in the country, who in a lot of respects is a lot like Stevens Point in this instance, that they're more than likely on their way to the NCAA tournament. But it's just anytime you can compete with a team like that, it's got to be impressive and a big boost to your I don't know what I'm trying to say here, guys.
Boost your confidence.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. Couldn't find the word. A big boost to your confidence to just hang around there with
Need
the team
English
quality
dictionary
like
just kind of spread out on the top over here.
No, absolutely. You're absolutely right. He's got the dictionary just open up here. He's like, all right, what words?
Do you think somebody has written like a hockey dictionary of all the
there
slang terms?
Some here. Racing around here is Junker, and he's just going to quickly wrist one.
If you get just a little tap there, that's in.
Ooh. There have been opportunities in this period as what's going on. High sticking is going to be the call.
So now I understand why he's confused about that, because I did hear kind of this this referee yell no, and then Schroeder say from the point it was a high stick. So they're going to talk about that.
Okay.
A little bit of a miscommunication. So I don't think that's really on Poulias or anybody.
A premature whistle, maybe. Stoppage in play, regardless. We get a face-off here.
Of course, there's Schroeder, too.
Face-off coming here at center ice. Let's not throw some shade, man. He's
a good guy.
He's down there on the ice.
Hey, credit to him.
He's down there on the ice. Probably sees stuff a little bit. Obviously, we're going to be a little cynical since we're obviously commentating the game, so we'd like to see it as Wagner's just going to gobble this one up there. It was a little dangerous the way that it was going towards him. Probably the smart play there by Ryan to cover it up here. But Ryan Wagner, the 6th-year senior out of Indianapolis, this is a guy who has seen just about everything. He's seen championship teams, national championship teams.
It was all part of it.
Seen the COVID year, and has a chance to go back out on top as a champion. And what a story! What a story that would be for Wagner.
Well, I definitely agree. Like I was talking about on the tailgate, it'd be really, really poetic if he came in and then also went out on top of the mountain as an NCAA champion.
Chiarino tried to pull a Patrick Mahomes and do a no-looker. Oh, a chance for Fletcher Anderson to try to get his 2nd of the night. And Stout's going to try to break it up, and they do. And here comes Stevens Point now with it. Ide has it. Taking it back into the offensive zone here, but only Blue Devils around. Rios going to race down to the corner. Tried to have a big collision there with Darakawa.
A little bit of a missed hit.
Looked like he was loading that one up. Looking to do some damage on that one. Dumping it back out to center ice is Stout, and Stevens Point will pick it up in their own defensive zone here. Just about 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 5 seconds to be exact, on the clock for this opening period. Again, Stevens Point up 1-0 on UW-Stout. Listening to Pointers Hockey right here on WWSP, Stevens Point 90 FM, and watching it live here on SPTV. Puck goes out to center ice, and Stout has it. Now they turn it over. A lot of turnovers for Stout in this first period. That's going to be something that Coach McDonald is going to be talking to his team here in the first intermission is, guys, the fact we're still in this game with how many turnovers and opportunities they've had is he's probably going to be pretty happy with the fact that this is just a 1-0 game if it goes into the first intermission 1-0.
Absolutely. I mean, Point just, like as we were talking, got another turnover. I mean, they're playing really well in the forecheck, and they've had a lot of really good chances. It's thanks to the heroics of Masternock and the defense that's really kind of kept them in this.
Here comes Wilson Northey, 1-on-3, and he's going to send it. Oh, he gets taken down in the corner, loses a stick, but gets back to his feet. Moore has it. We are under a minute here in this opening period. Stevens Point going to try to add to their 1-0 lead. Nice hustle there by Sam Ide as he keeps the puck in the offensive zone, but the Blue Devils control it, and now they're going to try to make one final push here. Connor Witherspoon probably could have done
Heads
some.
up.
Out of play. Heads up.
Quick score update. Superior scores towards the end of the period, 1-0 Superior in Eau Claire.
So the Yellow Jackets coming into this one. This is, like we said, Superior a lot like Stout, and they overachieved to the media's overall perception of what they would be this year. They can somehow get to the championship game. I'm sure they would like to have
another
a rematch at Stevens
And
Point.
I had said last night on Sports Beat, you know, Superior has a chance to beat them. I mean, they're playing for a lot here, and they definitely want to go against Point.
They want to kind of repatch their pride after dropping one of their games to Northland.
That's the only, one of the only, oh, there was some damage trying to be done there by Sean Bunting in the corner as Witherspoon controls Reyes. Here's a chance for a one-on-one opportunity. A delayed penalty coming up here on Stevens Point. Pulling the goaltender is Stout. There's a chance up front. Oh, nice save there by Ryan Wagner. Ooh, delayed penalty on Stevens Point. Masternak came out of the net.
A little bit of a late hit. A little bit of a late hit behind the net, behind Masternak. I think this is either going to be boarding or interference. They're going to call interference.
Yeah, there's going to be interference all day, but
8.1 seconds to go. That means Stout's going to, unless they score in 8.1 seconds, it means they're going to start the second.
It's not impossible.
No, definitely not.
But
fastest goal scored in hockey,
especially
5 seconds.
Against this penalty kill unit in Stevens Point that through 74 tries this year, there have been only 4 goals, that have been scored on this Stevens Point penalty
and a lot of
kill.
those are just in garbage time, really. But
and this
looks
is
like it's going to be.
And that will do it for this first period. The score is 1-0 here. Stevens Point is on top of Stout after the first 20, guys. Now, Stout's going to have a man advantage after this first intermission here, but so far, so good for Stevens Point.
No, I definitely agree. Sorry, I almost said Superior. Stevens Point's come out really, really aggressive, made a couple of big hits, got on the board in under 5 minutes. I think that there's not too much Coach Krieger can really be mad about with his team right now.
I think you're absolutely right, and a good start to this. It's good start to this game, Brody. What did you think of this first period? Very
physical. I will say that it was a lot of physicality between both these teams. A lot of guys taking checks and getting hits here and there, but there's still 40 minutes of hockey left to play, and it might get even more physical.
Not to mention tomorrow's game as well. So. Sorry about that, guys. Here, one final thing here on SBTV's stream before we send this to break. Quick Trip, Quick Rewards, Quick Trip's loyalty program is a great way to save money at the pump and in-store. Check out the quickrewards.com for more information. Quick Trip is the proud sponsor of the WIAC Athlete of the Week recognition program. We're going to take a break here and be back in just about 15 minutes. And with that, we welcome you back here to KB Willett Ice Arena and Pointers Hockey right here on WWSP Stevens Point 90 FM, your only alternative, and live right here on SPTV's YouTube channel. Guys, 1-0 is the score, and to say that it was despite the score just being a one-score game, it was offensively a lopsided period. 15-3 shots in favor of Stevens Point. Their offense was just a juggernaut that first 20 minutes.
Yeah, definitely without question. Fletcher Anderson being the only one to score in the period. Assist coming from Andrew Poulias, and yeah, it's definitely been an offensive period for the Pointers, but as we're getting the face-off right here.
Remember,
We'll be down one.
Yep, Stevens Point down a man after their penalty to end the first period, and they're going to quickly dump it. This ice still looks pretty slick, guys, but must be something to keep an eye out here.
Well,
but again, this Stevens Point penalty kill on the year, the conversion percentage for opposing teams against this penalty kill for Stevens Point, 5.2% on the year. That is as good as it gets in America.
Well, I agree with that 100%, but I kind of want to go back to what you were saying about it being an offensively lopsided period. I think the flip side of that is that Stout's been very, very good defensively, only keeping it to one score.
No, you're absolutely right. And asking if you ask Coach McDonald here at the first intermission, a chance up front. Ooh, nothing doing. There was a chance right there in front of Wagner. That puck. Oh, and they score! The puck does just squirt through as they beat Wagner 5-hole. He's making the argument that it was already in the crease, but the Blue Devils knot this one up, 1-1.
Well, there was really nothing Wagner could do on that. Defense kind of collapsed around him to kind of protect him, all that. He made the initial save, but they just kind of jammed it in there and got it through to him.
So Stout ties this one up here, 1-1 in the opening minute of this second period.
We jinxed it, I think.
Yeah, definitely, without question, might have been a jinx there.
5.2%. That is only the 5th goal on the year that this team has, this penalty kill unit has allowed, as the net comes out of its bearings.
Well, I think Point just kind of needs to forget that it happened and keep moving, because, I mean, if you focus on that goal too much, it's going to kind of dictate how you play the rest of the game, so they just need to forget it and move on.
So Kobe Keller nets the score for the Blue Devils. Make it a 1-1 game here. The opening stages of the second period.
First minute.
After really a disastrous first period, Stout couldn't ask for a better start here in this second one.
I think somebody's missing a glove.
Looks like Pointers player was.
Does look like it, but now it looks like they have it back. You can see Stout. Oh, there was a dangerous chance there as Wagner didn't play that one great. Chiarino now has it for Stevens Point. A little dangerous here as now the momentum's tipped in the favor of the Blue Devils. There still is a player without a glove as it's over in the corner there. Tied with it now. Nice move there on Chiarino. Here comes Stout on the push. They're just on sides. 3-on-3 opportunity. There's a pass to the slot. Nice stick there by Stevens Point. They clear it out of the zone. Icing is going to be called.
Well, so far what I've seen is that Stout's coming out and kind of trying to get their momentum going, and they made a big statement with that goal, and they're not letting their foot off the gas pedal.
Dahlstedt and Beckstead as well as Halverson come on the ice here for the Blue Devils. Anderson, Chiarino, Northey, and Gonrowski along with Polias out there for Stevens Point. But this is an area, Ryan Wagner last year an all WIAC goaltender. This year is by no means has been bad, but he has not been the Ryan Wagner we knew from last year, as that pass is intercepted and a quick shot on goal, and Wagner gobbles that one up.
Wow, that was very, very close.
Stout trying to make this a 2-1 game in the span of 2 minutes.
Score update, Eau Claire just scored against Superior. It's tied 1-1.
So the Blue Golds and the Yellow Jackets are tied. We have a ties game here too. Both semifinal matchups feature both teams tied up at 1-1. Gonrowski is going to lose it. Ooh, nice steal there. And trying to clear it is Stevens Point. Here comes Chiarino, 2-on-1 opportunity for Stevens Point. Here comes Dawson. Dawson is, oh my goodness, it looked like he didn't know what he was going to do with it.
No, I think he tried to sneak it in back behind the goaltender, but he just kind of kept it on the post. Maybe ran out of real estate.
Here comes Dahlside He loses it. Stevens Point now has it. It was a golden opportunity that Stevens Point does not waste a lot, but they certainly did there.
Especially for Dustin Chirino.
Yes, sir.
Looked like he tried to get too fancy with that. He had a potential open teammate. Chose to keep it himself and turns it over. Just blowing a tire. Here comes Andrew Palia. It's got 1-on-4. Still going to slow it down. Here's a pass up front. Oh, and a pad save there by Masternak.
He seems to be out of position on most goals, and it just happens to go in his glove. I will say that.
It's kind of like, you know, the MLB, the show kind of game when you're playing against a computer and you hit a home run, and for whatever reason, the outfielder, excuse me, I said third fielder, outfielder catches it.
Just somehow,
some way defies logic, gets it. No, but nice save there by Masternak. Face-off one here by the Blue Devils, and now they trying to clear it out of their own defensive zone. Stevens Point has it, Bunting behind the net. He loses it, now gets it over to Witherspoon. Falls, open man, here gets it over to Ide, up top to Hennigan. Hennigan's gonna wrist one off. Oh, tries to get it over to Witherspoon, nothing doing. Witherspoon hits the deck in the corner, fighting for it. Alongside the boards is Fodder. Puck now comes back out to center ice, and Stevens Point has it. Back to Noah Falls with it. Nice move there by Falls, and he dumps it into the zone. Stevens Point gets a line change. Quickly coming out of the net, racing up the ice as the goaltender was in an awkward position. Here's a chance. Oh, I thought that one maybe was going to light up the back of the net. Nothing doing. Here's that hustle we were talking about with Stout as Keller, guy who just scored the goal, racing up the ice. This has really been
Stout's period
so far, so good for the Blue Devils. Stevens Point looking to try to answer here, and they're just looking sloppy, guys, coming out of this first intermission.
They definitely are.
16:25 to go here in this second period. 1-1 is the game. Stevens Point and Stout tied up. That was a lazy shot. That one goes wide. Not a good shot there. And, you know, Stevens Point, yes, they do outshoot teams. Oh, there was a chance. What a save there. Oh, my goodness. Holy moly. Here's a chance up front for Stevens Point. Man, that was a open net, and Masternak just laid out for it and got there was just 9 times out of the 10, Stevens Point scores that. Masternak.
That's a
Everybody in the building
save.
thought that was the goal.
That was one of the best saves I think I have ever seen in my entire life. That was legitimately one of the best saves I have ever seen. Raylis tries to get it up to Bramus in the slot. Nothing doing. Trying to get clear out of the zone, but a turnover. And here come the Blue Devils with it. Conant with it. He tries to clear it alongside the boards. Now gets it up top and just keeping it on his stick. There's a quick shot up front. Oh, just getting it is Wagner.
Deflected in front. He made the adjustment. Good save. But on that other shot, everybody in this building thought that was in the back of the net.
That was, I mean, it was an open net, and it was just a Hail Mary dive there by Masternak, and he got it. That was one of the best saves I have ever seen at any level of hockey. That was just tremendous save. And you got to
give him credit.
Can't help but get excited
tough.
for it.
That's a tough save.
Just highway robbery right there.
That's a beautiful save there by Masternak. This is as good of hockey as you're going to see, ladies and gentlemen. Stevens Point owned the first period, and to this point, Stout has owned this second period. And really, those chances to try to make this a 2-0 game as icing is going to be called on Stevens Point. But yeah, guys, there were opportunities in that first period. Stevens Point could have made this a 2-0 game. They couldn't do it, and it's 1-1 here.
Speaking of scoring, Eau Claire just scored a goal against Superior to make it 2-1 with 6:22 into the second period up in Eau Claire.
2 unanswered goals there by the Blue Golds to give them a 1-score lead. Eau Claire, remember, they were last year's conference tournament champions.
That came out here and beat Point.
To say they beat them would be a little understatement. A 6-2 victory right here in KB Willett. Nobody does that, and they did it last year. And unfortunately, they didn't have the format where they would have had an auto bid to the NCAA tournament. But here comes Stevens Point here with a chance. Dawson Chirino, fancy puck work, and that one hits off the stick. And oh, it comes out dangerously back to Stevens Point. But another save there by Masternak.
He's playing out of his gourd right now.
Here comes Stevens Point, or here comes Stout. As where's the puck? Wagner can't find it.
I think he's on top of it. Yep.
Oh,
he's right on top of it. He made the save.
He thought for sure it was in the back of the net. He looked behind him. Man, Stout is just taking it to Stevens Point.
A little bit of a goaltender's duel right now.
Yeah, definitely, without question.
Masternak with a masterful second period so far.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Pretty easy to see what I did there. Stuckert with it. He'll wrist one off. That hits the shoulder pad of a teammate. Witherspoon's going to dump it out of the zone, and it's going to hit the stick of Stuckert, which will eliminate the icing. Ooh, nice brakes put on there by Moore. The puck squirts free. No icing. Hummerstone now has it for Stevens Point. Sear with it. Sear playing good defense on Stevens Point. Now Noah Falls gets hip checked there in the corner. Nice hit there by number 4, Fottle. Blue Devils are the aggressors here in this period. Oh, Noah Falls just lays out a guy in retaliation. Here comes Sean Bunting racing up the ice, but nice hustle there by Moore. Again, this is a team in Stout that is going to hustle. This is just a very fast team.
They definitely are.
Up and down the ice. Here comes Stevens Point. 1-on-3. Bunting just going to try to bank pass to himself and turn it over. And now Stout with it. Bunting going to go down.
They're all out of gas.
Yeah,
They need to go for a line change.
He's a little tired as an outlet pass quickly up the ice, and icing is going to be called on the Blue Devils. 13:33 to go here in this second period. 1-1 is the score.
Pointer faithful trying to kind of hype up their team and get them going. I'm not sure if
Everybody's
it's
kind of
working.
biting their fingernails after that goal here.
And the way Masternak's been playing this period is definitely better than last period.
Well, no, you're absolutely right.
Kind of the way it's been going for the Pointers is that, their second period has been their best period, and it's kind of thanks in part due to the dog pound behind the net, but it's just kind of silent right now.
You're absolutely right. And a sellout dog pound that is, and really sell out KB Willett Arena. There's standing room only for people, everybody else, and they're kind of stunned. This is a tie game, and everybody's kind of stunned here. But here comes Armatario, tried to get it up to Cody Moline. Can't get it, it just goes out of his outstretched arms, but I think he does try to get to it, and he's pinning it against the wall. Here comes Stevens Point. Armatario, the open man. He couldn't handle it cleanly, tried to go 5-hole, but having none of it was Masternak.
Yeah, he just couldn't get it cleanly there, and
there was a chance.
Kind of stuttered a little bit.
If there was a chance, if he could have got one slap shot off that. But you never know with the way that Masternak had been playing as of late. Could have 2 goaltenders in there, and Stevens Point still couldn't get it through. Anyway, face-off coming here. Northey going to win the face-off here for Stevens Point. Ide now has it. Ide's just going to wrist one off. Ooh, that one. Nice save there by Masternak again. A little quick to the draw there by Sam.
That's a lot of pointer shots are like that. Really quick shots that maybe they shouldn't take, but sometimes they work.
A lot of power behind that one.
Fire out the goaltender.
Hennigan with it. He's going to get it to Armatario. Back up top to Hennigan. Over to Ide. Ide just keeps it in the zone and dumps it back up. Behind the net, Fader with it. One of the captains of this Stevens Point team. Puck squirts free, and here come the Blue Devils. They now have it. Pass over to his teammate as Connett gets hit in the boards. Here comes Jake Tice. Jake's going to race up the ice, try to get it to Northey. Nice, easy glove save. He is just seeing everything right now, is Masternak.
He's locked in.
Yeah, he's definitely locked in after that first period.
He's like a pitcher in baseball that, maybe early in the first couple innings, he can't necessarily find the strike zone. Right now,
Adrian Hauser is one guy that comes to mind to me.
Yeah. Masternak right now is just he's hitting center of the strike zone, and just no doubt about it. He's just locked in here. There's that hustle up the ice. Beckstead fighting alongside as well in the corner. That's number 18 in Matt Dahl's side. Here comes Stevens Point, though, a 2-on-2 opportunity. Fletcher Anderson, he's the only pointer to score here today. Trying to go 2. Can he make it 2? He can't at the moment. Dawson Chiarino steals it. Can he get it back up to Fletcher? And the back of the net, and they score! Oh, a lot of congestion in front of Masternak, but they do just beat him and make this a 2-1 game for Stevens Point.
Dawson Chiarino.
The magic gloves. Stout was right away arguing with the referee, but I think that one's going to stand. I can't see anything that would possibly get that one called back.
Yeah, Masternak was just kind of out of position there. It's kind of tough save to make there.
Exactly. Dawson Chiarino Wonderful forehand, backhand shot. Just amazing.
Stevens Point makes this a 2-1 game and captures a little bit of that momentum again. So Stevens Point.
Looks like
a penalty coming up.
Yeah, I think a penalty straight away on Stevens Point.
Slash.
I think they're going to hit Cody Moline, and he's kind of shaking his head. So,
well, that's a good way to kind of kill all of your momentum that you just got.
As terrible of a sequence for Stevens Point as you could have probably asked, is you just give yourself the lead, and then you just make a horrible penalty right there.
An unnecessary penalty.
Exactly.
And this is where Stout scored. Their first goal is in a man advantage here in the power play, and just have all the momentum gone just like that. Stevens Point only one shorthanded goal on the year. All side with it for the Blue Devils as they're not onside now. They do, and they'll just quickly dump it in the zone. Ide's going to try to get it out, and he does. Almost looked like it was coming up at us, guys, but we're safe up here. No need to worry. I'll throw you guys in front of me before you know.
Kelly tries to make a shot there. I mean, he's the one that scored in the power play before, and Wagner gets on it there.
There've been a few times tonight, guys, where Wagner's been hit right in the chest plate, and that puck falls down right in front of him really dangerously.
He's not controlling the rebounds very well.
What can you do to improve that? Is it you just catch it straight with your mitt, or do you have to, what do you got to do?
I mean, I think part of the reason is he's not expecting them, but also you got to kind of be ready to try to grab that, you know, basically give it a hug. As funny as it sounds, you got to be kind of ready to just kind of, and if you do let go of it, I mean, he's been jumping on him as best as he can, but he's got to do a better way of kind of,
holding on to it almost.
Yeah.
Hart and Pulias fighting for the face-off. It's a tie-up and just quickly sent down the ice. Oh, my goodness.
I get very worried every time they try to bank it off the glass, especially by us.
I know.
I might need to grab my glove.
Get your baseball mitt out here.
Hey, man, that thing can take a hit.
Ooh, there's a quick send it right back in the zone now. With some force have been these past couple shots, both these sides. Oh, hitting the deck, behind the net, and David Hill just wanted to make sure he stayed down.
Finishing the
Very
check.
Physical. Like we said before, it's a physical game tonight between both sides.
Stevens Point has killed off 1 minute of this. Just playing aggressive offense here. Oh, there's a trip. Nothing called. There's a play without a stick here. Stout with the final 45 seconds here is going to finally try to set up the offense here. Need one to tie this one up. Beckstad now with it. He'll pass it over to his teammate. That one's a little too strong, and here comes Stevens Point. Dumping it up the ice is Fader.
They might have something here.
Jordan's got 1-on-3. Nice closeout there by Stout. Ends the offensive threat. He gets pinned in the corner there by Hart. But really, he's kind of doing his job here and chewing up this clock here in the penalty kill. Here comes Stout. Open man up top is Beckstead. He's going to try to wrist one, and a player in the lane there for Stevens Point keeps that out. Gunrowski couldn't clear it. Here comes Stevens Point and Evan Junker. Pointers trying to clear it out of the zone, and they will. 3 seconds, and with that, Stevens Point kills off the second penalty of the night. They are 1 for 2 in the penalty kill here. The only goal that Stout has scored has been on the man advantage. Verstegen just launched one, and that just somehow stays in play, and Stevens Point sends it back to center ice.
A little bit of a knuckle puck.
Yeah.
Here comes Falls now with it. He'll gonna dump it up the ice. No icing's gonna be called there. Sam Ide and Brent Hummerstone come in for Stevens Point. Brent now with it. He'll dump it right back over in the offensive zone. Stevens Point starting to play with a little bit more confidence here after a really ugly first 8 minutes of this period.
Well, I can't imagine. I imagine that, you know, they got the goal and then, you know, immediately taking the penalty kind of killed the momentum a little bit. But now that they managed to kill it off.
Here comes Stevens Point. Brent Hummerstone intercepts that, nothing doing. Here comes Sam Ide. He's going to low one up, nothing doing. Chirino surveying around the defense. Gets it back up to Brent Hummerstone, the open man. Over to Ide. Ide's going to slap one off, nothing doing. Nice save there by Masternad. Quickly up the boards as Fletcher Anderson's going to come and get it. Back over to Pulias. He'll dump it over to Armatario. Here's something for Stevens Point. Nick, we're going to give it. Oh, beautiful pad save there by Masternad. Oh, my goodness.
He just got a pad on that.
There was another opportunity.
Wonderful passes by the Pointers. They did everything right, and Masternak still somehow makes the save.
Hart is racing up the ice, and he passed one to the slot. Ooh, man, the hustle there as there's a home run over the boards.
See you later.
That one's out of here.
That's a new one.
But, man, that's the second kind of jaw-dropping save there by Masternak as there's immediate timeout
And a credit
here.
to him. He's been a stud all game, or
Absolutely.
this period, really.
It's been a tremendous game for him.
I mean, the Pointers did everything right. They passed it well. They moved it up the net. They did not take any like bad passes. Good pass in front of the net. A great shot. And Masternak still somehow makes the save.
3-1 Eau Claire, and it looks like Superior changed goalies now. They didn't start Miles Hector this game. Now they're putting them in. So things are going on up in Eau Claire.
After a 1-0 lead for Superior, it's 3 straight unanswered by the Blue Golds. Maybe shaking off their rust after that bye, but that is always a team that you got to keep an eye out for. And if they can't make, that's a team that you will not want to see in the NCAA tournament. There is no question about it.
Yes, sir.
8:09 to go here in this second period. Stevens Point has the 2-1 lead here, but Stout trying to answer the bell here. They scored, guys, in the first minute of this one.
Yes, they did.
To tie this one up. The first minute of this period, I should say, rather. Hart and Moberg.
Quick shot off the face-off.
Hart just sends one right to the waiting hands of Ryan Wagner. Now, I know he's given up his second goal here of the day in this second period, but man,
Credit to Masternak,
has had a tremendous performance.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
it's tough to make saves like that. I mean, you're just barely sticking on a pad, and you just get a hold of that. That's tough to do.
Stout now with it. Stuckert up top. He's going to wrist one off. Oh, my goodness. It hit a Pointer in the lane. There was a chance at that one, guys.
That was
I think it
very
hit somebody
scary.
in the face mask.
Good Hill trying to get it for Stevens Point. Here comes Cody Moline. He's got a guy, but instead he banks it behind the net. Cody now with it behind the net. He'll try to get it to his defender, but nice close out there by Hart and the Blue Devils. Scrambling defense here by Stout and just hitting the boards. There was Junker and lost his feet. Amatario wrists one off and hits Cody Moline right on the legs. Here comes Cody. He'll line one up. Tried to get it over to Moberg. A little bit of a saucer pass as Moline's going to come for a break. Wilson Northey checks in for him. Alongside the boards, playing it is John Giovanni. Wrist one off. That one just goes high and somehow stays in play here. Stevens Point got the aggression here right now. Sam Ide can't field that one cleanly. And now try to get it to Northey. Open man over in front. Now in front. Here's a chance for Stevens Point. A lot of congestion up front. Where's the puck? And it's on the stick of the Blue Devils. Icing will be waved off there. And big collision in the corner. Raylis and Ide.
Well, Raylis just beat out the Pointers for that icing call. Heck of a job for him to hustle out there.
And that's a credit to Stout hustling down the ice really quickly.
So again, this thing we talked about a little bit in the first period, tried to get in a little bit in the pregame here. This Stout team is one of the faster teams you're going to see. Just their athleticism is just something to
behold.
It really
Yes, it
is.
is.
Here's a chance of a one-on-one, but Chirino poked it to himself and poked it right to a Blue Devil.
Lost an edge there in the middle, too.
Dawson, one of the 2 pointers to score. Fletcher Anderson, the other one. Again, just joining us, Fletcher Anderson has scored in each matchup of the post and regular season. Where's the puck? And it just comes free as Masternad lost it. But Fletcher, back to that point, Fletcher Anderson has scored in each game this year against UW-Stout.
Yes, he has.
That puck stays in play, goes back out to center ice. Ball side fighting, or Darakawa rather, trying to get it. He hustles up the ice to get it for himself. Back to Darakawa. He turns it over to Sean Bunting. Bunting tries to get it out to center ice, and that gets intercepted. No, back to Sean Bunting. 1-on-3 for Sean as he loses it, and a poke check and a takedown of Masternad. He looks to the line judge. Nothing. There is a delayed penalty going to be called. And, man, I'm surprised. Why is this judge making the call on this side?
Well, The far judge made the call. It's going to be goaltender interference. I agree with that. I mean, that's kind of it's a hard penalty to avoid, especially when you're driving to the net, but it's still a penalty.
Nonetheless, yeah.
I'm surprised that the judge from the blue line made the call and not Schroeder, who was in the corner.
Yeah, I don't understand
it, but
I'm a little confused as to the call. No, I get it, but why didn't the guy behind the net, who's probably in the best position to call the penalty, make the call?
Well, in his opinion, he might have been pushed into it, but a penalty's a penalty, and the pointers are going to go down one again.
I also don't think Masternad saw the delayed penalty because he stayed in the net the whole time.
Yep.
Stevens Point tries to clear it out of the zone. Another golden opportunity here for the Blue Devils to tie this one up here. 4:55 to go. Stevens Point clears the zone there. But yeah, back to it. Masternad I don't want to say he didn't see. Maybe he didn't see the judge with his arm in the air, but they easily could have pulled him and had an extra attacker. But yet he stayed in the net, man.
Well, he did also just take a hit, so he might have been trying to shake his head and all that.
See his bearings after getting hit like that.
Northey going to fight for it, and here come the Blue Devils. Halverson going to pass in the slot. Ooh, nice blocker save there by Hennigan, but again, there was really no influence on the play with that block. Here come the Blue Devils. Top now, they got the offense set. Boyce, here's a quick wrister. Oh, nothing doing. That one just flutters up and now out of play off the skate of
Wagner didn't know where that was. There was a gaping net.
There was a wide open net there for the Blue Devils. They just can't convert. 59 seconds left on the power play. Third of the night for the Blue Devils. They were successful on their first one, but not so much on their second. A chance.
See how the third one goes now.
Yeah, they're going to try to tie the game here. If you're Stevens Point and Coach Krieger, you want to get the lead going into the third period.
No question about it.
Face off, tie up, goes to the stick of the Blue Devils. Nice poke check there by Hummerstone, and Stewart just clears it out of the zone. Well, yeah, momentum is a finicky little thing. Playing way deep here is number 10, Peyton Hart.
He's definitely one of the leaders on that Stout team. He definitely, he's the one guy, I believe he scores a lot of their games.
Peyton Hart, one of the rushers of this team. Nice, just wrap around touched every single sideboard there is coming out to play. It was Masternad. Maybe a little dangerously. But the Blue Devils are by no means are out of it. They are giving Stevens Point everything they can handle. Hart with a shot, and that one just goes wide off the glove of Wagner. 5 seconds left here on the power play. Beckstead gets it up front. There's a chance. Oh, that one just goes wide. Still got kind of the man advantage here for the moment. Stevens Point has to get the man out here, and they now just do. So Stevens Point kills off the second penalty of the night. Ooh, just out of place there was Witherspoon, and the Blue Devils have it once again. 3-on-2 opportunity if they hustle. Here's a quick shot, nothing doing. Looking for a rebound, and it just squirts outside. There was dangerous there. As Wagner hits the deck, nothing called there. As Ryan gets taken down, no goaltender interference. Same guy.
Interesting.
Here comes Dawson Chiarino, a lot of fancy puck work, and nothing doing.
At the very least, that should have been tripping. I mean, he had his stick in the crease, and Ryan Wagner kind of backed up into it, granted, but it was still tripping.
Here comes Fletcher Anderson. That shot goes wide. But interesting how they call that on the other end when he's got no position to make that call, but he doesn't make it on this end where it's pretty blatant that was a goaltender interference.
And then kind of after the play, Chirino got tied up and was kind of kept down on the ice by one of the Blue Devils.
Nice save there.
Crowd kind of reacting to both non-calls.
By Masternad. There are two straight things that could easily have been penalties against Stout, not called. So it's not going the way of Stevens Point.
And they just got to play through it. I get it that it's rough, but you got to play through that and just, I mean, if you don't hear a whistle, just keep playing.
Absolutely right about that.
You got to adapt to how the linesmen and the officials are going to call this one.
Face-off just does come to Stevens Point. Liam, this is something we've talked about, and you as a referee, you like to ref basketball in your spare time. You've done an experience in a lot of sports doing that. Something you've heard a lot is we just want a fair game. If this is called on one end, we want you to call it on the other end. And for some sequences here tonight, that's not been the case.
No, I agree. I mean, if you're going to call something, you've got to keep that standard all the way through. It's got to be fair for both teams. And I think that that's what people are looking for more so than, like, good calls, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
You know, if you're going to call something, you want to keep that consistent to how you call it for both teams throughout the entire game. If you do that, people will regard you as a great official. It's something that I've kind of learned during my time in intramurals and officiating baseball tournaments, is that if you're a decent and you keep things the same all the way through, people will look at you at the end of the day as a great official.
I definitely agree with that.
Well, you're absolutely right. 1 minute to go here this second period. Stout trying to net another one to make this a tie game, but Dawson Chirino has other plans, and he's going to send one down the ice, and icing to be called.
Just try to clear the puck.
Reset, but 45.8 seconds to go here in this second period.
Score update, Superior just scored, so it's 3-2, Eau Claire, in Eau Claire.
A goal that the Yellow Jackets desperately needed,
Yes, they did.
as Eau Claire was coming back with a vengeance on that one, and they're one of the more difficult teams to come back on.
They definitely are.
Face-off does just get grabbed there by Stout. Oh my goodness, Hart. Maybe a swing and a miss just outside the zone. He can't get it. Fletcher Anderson trying to tap it outside the zone. He goes out and over to Kobe Keller. And the Blue Devils will send it right back into the offensive zone. Ooh, there's an open man, and a save there by Wagner. Oh my goodness.
That sounded a little bit something that you might hear if you were umpiring baseball. Strike.
A little sauce put on that one.
Hey, good catch by him. Way to keep it in front of him and, like we were saying before, just kind of hugging it.
Yep. Great job by Wagner to kind of control that rebound. Something that he's kind of needing to work on so far this game, and I hope that's kind of a sign of good things to come.
Face-off coming here. It's going to be won here by Stout. They're going to get the final 23 or so seconds left. Ooh, the puck gets poked out by Wagner. Dangerous territory here behind the net. Moore with it. He'll launch one. That one's too high and outside. 13 seconds left here in this second period. Stout trying to get one here before the buzzer. Here's a shot. A chance up front. Oh, a lot of sticks in the lane. And now Stevens Point has it. 3 seconds. They'll just dump it out. And that should send us to the second intermission. And it does. So, after another 20 minutes, we have a similar situation. Stevens Point with a 1-point lead after 2. The score is 2-1 Pointers. Man, that period felt like an entire game, guys.
Yes, it really did.
Absolutely.
These teams are playing more physical as the period went on, and you know, Stout's kind of giving a fight right now.
You're absolutely right. 2-1 is the score here after 2 periods. We'll have the third period coming up for you here in about 15 minutes. Well, we're going to send it back to the studio for some more music right here on WWSP Stevens Point 90 FM, your only alternative. For those sticking back here at the SBTV live stream, stop by Quick Trip for a healthy snack from our fresh case, fully stocked with fruits, yogurts, salads, and sandwich. Big on fresh, low on price. Quick Trip is the proud sponsor of the WIAC Athlete of the Week recognition program. We'll see you guys in a few minutes. And a welcome back here to KB Willett Ice Arena. You are listening live here to Pointers Hockey right here on WWSP. Stevens Point 90 FM, your only alternative. And live stream right here on SPTV. Guys, 2-1 is the score here. Stevens Point is on top of Stout. A really hard-fought second period between two teams. Really an even second period.
No doubt about it. Looking at some stats here, in the second period, 46 seconds, I should say, into the second period, Kobe Keller on the power play for Stout scores a goal, which is something that Stevens Point hasn't given up a lot this season, power play goals. But it was answered right back with 8:01 into the second period by Dawson Chirino. Fantastic goal out of him. And
assisted by Andrew Pulias, Fletcher Anderson. So Fletcher Anderson's actually got 2 points now this game.
Yeah, that's pretty good for him. And shots-wise, the Pointers have 32 shots to Stout's 19. A little more face-offs won by the Pointers in the second period. But we have a game here. It's still close. Anything can happen here.
Yeah, overall shots still favor Stevens Point, if I'm correct, Brody. But this matchup here, it's been such a tightly contested. Yeah, 19-13 or 19-13 in that second period, or 19-32 overall, I believe. 18 shots or whatever. We'll have to update that as soon as we.
So I mean, still actually very, very evenly. You know, Stout had, I think, more shots than Point did, which is actually something that's not happened a whole lot this season. You know, usually Stevens Point finishes out most periods with more shots in that period than the other team. I mean, even though they have the more total overall shots, Stout still outshot them, which is something that really hasn't happened.
Yes, it really did. Ooh.
And Stevens Point here, we'll try to get that camera fixed again.
The legs on it aren't not the greatest, but hey, doing a solid job tonight.
Yeah, we try to get that down here, but Brody, yes, you're absolutely right here. You don't see a lot of teams put up, well, not 5,000, 1,000, but you don't see a lot of teams do that. You get a little look here at Liam, but I'll let you guys.
We love you, Liam.
Kind of talk a little bit about here.
So we got the second period coming up really quickly here, and for the Pointers, what they got to do is just play aggressive, got to play tough, can't let goals up, and you know, for the Pointers, they just got to get down the ice quick enough. They have struggled getting down the ice quick, unlike Stout here. Stout's been pretty good getting down the ice.
Stout has been great on the back check. I mean, they don't often let the Pointers kind of get an on-man rush, but when they do, they're really hustling back in to kind of try to take them off the puck. We've seen a lot of times where they're sometimes beat the Pointers to a puck that they're in front of. They've gotten a lot of icings called off that way.
Yeah, it's a credit to their team. They've been playing really well tonight against this Pointers team, and they're not afraid to fight.
Especially
Masternak. He's
yes.
had a really good second period.
Oh my goodness, he's made 2 just tremendous saves. He's kind of kept the Stout Blue Devils in this game. I mean, he had one in the second that everybody in this building thought was a goal. It was a surefire goal, and somehow he manages to just come across the net and take that guy off the puck. But we are underway here in the second now. The Pointers win the faceoff. We are underway in the third.
It's like Fader behind the goal here for Pointers.
So Stevens Point up front.
Front.
Nice anticipation there by Jake Tice, guys. For Stevens Point, this isn't make or break moment right here, but if they can net one here and give yourselves a 3-1 lead here, that just improves your chances. The ice is still slick once again here.
I don't think they give it enough time in between periods to really dry off.
But Brody, if you were looking in at that scores against Eau Claire and Superior, what kind of game we got over there?
So it started out Superior being up 1-0 in the first period, and then they kind of let that away. And now it's 3-2. Superior kind of scored late in that second period after giving up 3 goals.
3 unanswered goals by the Blue Devil, or excuse me, by the Blue Golds, and then Stevens Point, Superior is able to net one to make this a 1-score game here. But 2 really, really competitive semifinal games.
And it's a credit to all these teams in the WIAC. They're playing out of their minds this season. Like every season, they play out of their minds.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, the penalty kill is actually WIAC's probably the strongest conference in that.
It's really a good defensive count. I mean, you're going to see each night there's going to be teams that can light up the scoreboard, but you're not going to see much better defensive hockey than you're going to see in this league. Haroldson alongside the boards. Nice check there by Bunting. Stevens Point. Definitely been the aggressor to start this third period, I would say, guys, but
Yes, they have been.
a really good start so far, but it would be even better if they can score here. 18:35 to go here in this third and final period of regulation. Again, you know, if this goes to overtime, they'll play the overtime period, but they'll play no matter what happens. Even if it goes into shootouts or overtime, it's not going to go down as a tie. It'll go down as a win or a loss at this point in the season. There's a quick shot, and the body's in the lane there for Stevens Point as the puck just does squirt free, and Noah Falls gets it to an outletting Sean Bunting. He just dumps it into the zone.
I think Sean Bunting's out of gas.
He's a little tired.
Yeah, he's heading back now.
Stevens Point now with it alongside the boards is Junker. A takedown as Andrew Polias hit the deck. Now behind the net is Connett. There's the puck now. It just does come free, and Chiarino gets it. Tries to get it to the open man, but he hits it a little too hard, and Wagner's going to come out and play it.
I mean, if they had a guy right there, that might have been a good chance at a goal.
Yeah, I think he was looking at Chiarino, but he just wasn't open. A little too strong was that. Here's a pass to the slot up front, and a poke check there by Manistad. Maskernat, actually, rather. Fletcher Anderson, one of the 2 pointers to score. Andrew Polias is going to line one up. Beautiful block there by Fava.
I'm glad they've got pads. That one probably hurt.
Oh,
yeah.
They still may have a little bit of a bruise. It hits you on the ankle. All you got is a sock or whatever, but
Just don't rub it.
nice play there by Fottle to break up that shot. Here he is with the puck right now. Who was looking for that answer, and they can't get it. Right there, anyway. Here comes Cody Moline. 1-on-3 right now for Cody, and he shoots. And almost that was a chance for an own goal there. I don't know what was the what was the thinking right there with the Blue Devils.
I think he was trying to clear it to the corner, but then caught a little bit too much of it.
Yeah.
It's a quick send it right back into the zone. And, trying to do some damage maybe was Cody Moline.
That's the second one that he's missed. I mean, that looked like
Here comes
a
Isaac
hurt.
Moberg, a chance to load up front. Here's a chance. No, he cannot get it clean. Nice play there by Fottle.
Great defense.
Wow. Great play as now Hart comes out to center ice. Tries to get it over to his teammate Keller, who's the only man to score here for the Blue Devils, but he wasn't there. Sam Ide loses it, and just quickly dumping it back up the ice. Here come the Blue Devils. It's number 9, Dylan Raylis. Raylis gets planted. Here's a chance up front. Oh, nice save there by Wagner. Really nice
Keller
move.
almost with the goal there, too.
Stuck the leg out and robbed him.
Really.
Angrily whacking his stick as he gets back to the bench. He's very upset that he missed that one.
Fader going behind the net. Definitely there was a chance there behind the net for the Blue Devils, and Keller trying to get his second of the night. Stewart now with it. He'll laser one. That hits a defender in the lane. Would have gone high regardless.
Thought it hit Northy there, too.
Northy behind the net with Hart. Now to Beckstead. Surveying behind the net. Here comes Beckstead. He's going to try to outlet it up front. Nice defense there by Hummerstone. Falls out of position now. Here come the Blue Devils. Across the blue line. Here they come. Beckstead now has it. It goes outside the zone. Here comes Sean Bunting with the interception. A nice defense there by Darakawa. Here comes the puck. Open man up front and a chance. Oh, he saved there by Masternad.
I cannot believe it.
That's
Every time.
It's like a 3-on-1 almost.
I mean,
Stout kind of got up the ice real quick there, too.
Still can't convert.
What are the pointers? What else are left for the pointers to do?
Here comes Nick Hennigan, a chance, trying to do a rebound and an easy save there.
Actually,
by
that was
Masternad. He makes the hard saves look easy. That's how good Masternad has been here tonight.
He definitely didn't look like that in the first period, I will say.
Losing control of the puck here. That's dangerous territory as Wagner had to kind of come out of the crease a little bit now behind the net. Oh, and a score!
Wrapped it around.
Wow.
Wagner was just looking at the defender in front of him, and they just beat him, and we got ourselves a 2-2 game. What a play there What a nice kind of Michael Jordan baseline-esque fake as he just wraps it in, and
Wagner
it's a 2-2 game.
He was cheating. I think that he was expecting to pass out to the slot, and so he just kind of wrapped it around the net and put it in. I honestly think that Wagner was not a
answering back after letting up a goal late in that second period, I should say.
It's been going very back and forth over there in Eau Claire.
It's been a real back and forth affair, that's for sure. And again, guys, I want to just kind of apologize here. We have had some technical difficulties here tonight. Should have everything kind of figured out. We'll have hopefully everything figured out for tomorrow.
I mean, you have those. You have those.
Not only is this a really good game, but the highs and lows, but technology as well. You just gotta love it when it
love
takes
to see it.
We all know it's gonna take over the world. It's just a matter of time, if it hasn't already.
Yes.
But yes, guys, this is a whole new ball game, if you will. 2-2 is the score here, and Stevens Point wants to get that momentum back. This is just eerily similar to this second period. Here's Kettler with a shot, and that one goes off the pad of Wagner. Nice collision there.
Big hit.
Wow, as that puck now just goes out of play here. Andrew Polias just absorbed the hit of 2 Blue Devils and stayed on his feet while the other guys just hit the deck.
Credit to him. That's tough to. That's really tough to do.
What a play there.
Well, I mean, we're back basically to the start of the game. It's a tie game, basically 0-0. So, but I think whoever scores the next goal is probably going to win this one.
I definitely agree with that. It'll be a close one here, especially how these teams have been playing as face-off, kind of won by the pointers. But
and again, remember, this is playoff style. So if it gets to shootouts, if it gets to overtime, there's no ties in this. It's a win or lose situation. There's not even shootouts.
It'll just be continuous OT until somebody scores. So
there will be no clock, because if you remember the regulation, there's the 5-minute overtime period. Then after that, it's shootouts until the first team scores. Now, oh my goodness, as that puck just slides into the glove of Masternak.
I mean, if that does happen, we get free hockey.
This is true.
Better.
But let's think about this for a second. Based on what has happened, I mean, we don't have the updated stats in the shots. Stevens Point is out shooting Stout by 13 shots on goal, and it's a tie game? What?
A lot of those shots aren't great by the pointers.
Well, I also think it's due to the heroics of Masternak.
Yes.
I mean, he's really been the backbone to kind of keep them in this game.
If Stout can win this game, they got to think that the only reason that they were in it is because of his performance. I mean, there were 2 just sure-handed goals, wide open nets, that he just dives back in the play and just makes the save.
By all means, it should be 4-2 right now.
It absolutely should. And here comes Diakawa here, chance to go 1-on-2. There's nothing doing it. He just sends one up and hits the ceiling.
Wow, quick score update. 2 quick goals scored between both teams. Eau Claire 5-3 now.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah, very close.
Blue Golds cracked the 5-burger mark.
That here would be
free tacos.
Free tacos.
Would be, but it's not. So
12:40. Hopefully, it could be free tacos here now.
12:47 is the score here.
The score
is the time left. 2-2 is the score. You're absolutely right.
I would not want to be privy to a game that's 12:47. I mean,
that
did not show up.
The goaltender just didn't play. Both sides just decided to make it 6-on-6 hockey the whole time and just play empty net goal. Back to the point as it is. 2-2 is the score here with just about 12 and a half to go here in this third and final period of regulation. Stout, obviously, guys, after that goal with all the momentum, here comes Dawson Chiarino, 1-on-2. Chance up front, and did he score? No. Masternak, did he make another save? Yes. Oh, my goodness.
And there is a lot of pushing and shoving happening after this. Aromatario tied up with one of the Blue Devils. Kind of got dumped on the ice. He's kind of holding his side. He's grimacing.
He's
like
wincing a little bit, holding his, looked like maybe his midsection on that one. Kind of a violent collision there.
I mean, he got just dumped on the
Yeah,
ice.
he just got tossed. Just shows you the physicality of this Stout team. Just gets tossed on the ground like a teddy bear.
Dawson Chirino was looking for his second.
Stevens Point with a puck in the offensive zone here, trying to take the lead here in a tie game. Face off one. Dump back out to center ice to Keller. Here comes Stout on the push. Rayless with it. Nice closeout there by Ide. Wagner not going to cheat this time. And here comes Stevens Point. Sean Bunting, a chance for a one-on-one opportunity. Here comes Sean. He's going to set up his partner in Ide, and a beautiful play there by Boyce. Perfect interception there by the Blue Devils.
I mean, they just get quick up the ice and get that interception there.
I mean, we're talking about Stout's hustle. That's kind of proof of it.
It was a bad line change, yet good defensive closeout again by Stout. Alongside the boards here, that is grabbed in here by Hummerstone and Stevens Point. Now the Blue Devils have it. They go on sides. In the corner, now it's Stout with it. Behind the net, Stevens Point trying to get it. 11:15 to go here in this one. Joyce over, sends one. Glove saved there by Wagner. Ooh,
They picked that one out.
Noah Perez with that one.
I'm going to be honest with you, fellas. I'm kind of nervous for the Pointers here.
Yeah, starting to feel a little bit, but you couldn't ask for much more. A tie game here in the third period on a Friday night. WIAC semifinals, everything is at play here.
And we still got one more game.
We got one more game, no matter what happens here tonight.
In the words of the great late Badger Bob Johnson, it's a great day for hockey.
Absolutely
Yes, sir.
right. Wisconsin, a rough day at the office for them. They took on Penn State. They lose that game 6-1.
At least they didn't get shut out.
They're losing 6-0 after 2 periods. These are shots. So technically, they outplayed Penn State in the third period.
If you want to look at it that way, then sure.
From a moral standpoint, guys, you got to keep positive going. Rowski with the shot.
Oh,
Oh, score!
Wow! It just tumbled over Masternak. He didn't even know where it was.
They don't ask how, they ask how many, and that is proof. Hit a guy in front, knuckle pucked right over the top of Masternak. Will take it.
It just slips right over his shoulder. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
What an awkward goal, but you know what? I don't think the Pointers will care very much. I think that they're just going to take that one.
I think you're absolutely right.
I wonder who'll get the goal, though. Do you think they had a Pointer up in front?
I don't know if they're, I don't
I'm not
know,
sure.
and I wonder if they're going to say that's an earned goal. I don't know, because really that looked like it was not at Masternak's fault. It just fluttered.
Just fluttered over his
They're going to
shoulder.
say it was Nick Gonrowski they're going to give it to. That was the guy that took the shot.
So it must have hit a Blue Devil up in front.
It must have. Blue Devils trying to respond here. Stuckert with it. Now it gets intercepted by Ide. Sam tied up. He gets taken down. No call. Here comes Stevens Point. Hill going to dump it alongside the boards. Hill pass up front. Oh, right
very
in front
close.
of Masternak. That puck flies up almost next to us, guys. And yep, icing is called.
Stuckert very, very disappointed. Slams his stick against the boards right in front of us.
I mean, I think I would imagine that he's probably the one that it went off of.
yeah.
Do you think?
Good chance it was, but players will take a goal there. I mean, take anything when you can get it.
Exactly. They don't ask how, they ask how many.
You're absolutely right. We're at the midway point here in this third period. No, just over the midway point. 10-03. Yeah, I'm just going to say this.
Somewhat close to
There's
that.
7 guys out on the ice for Stout. 7 skaters, that is.
Yes.
Face off one here.
Technically
By
8.
Stevens Point, a chance up. Oh, that one just flutters off the stick.
skate. No, the skate. He just got a toe on that one. We would have had that knuckle puck part 2 as that one was deflected in the front and he just barely got to it.
There's a bit of an easier save there by Masternak. Anderson trying to play it alongside the boards. Nothing doing.
Bad pass back to Hyde. He missed it.
Any update there on the score, Brody? Between
Still 5-3. Eau Claire up
how
against
much
Superior.
we got? How much time we got
We
left?
got
in that?
they're only 5:57 into this third period.
Give
So-
or take 13 minutes.
See
Yeah.
the yellow jacket. Ooh, man, hitting the deck hard there. Was
And it looks like Eau Claire was on the power play before.
So we'll look to see, obviously the outcome of that game doesn't necessarily reflect what next week is going to be, but it'll determine who has the lead in the series. Dude, what an awkward kind of bounce that puck took, as now Stevens Point trying to fight and gain possession of it behind their own net.
We are under 10 minutes here in KB Willett.
8:50 to go here as the puck squirts free to Jake Tice. Jake's got 1-on-3. He's going to take this one a little easy, try to hop through the defenders. Nice defense there by the Blue Devils as they lose control of it. As Stevens Point, Evan Junker could have had it. Don't touch it. Oh, they do touch it. The icing was waved off. Here comes Stevens Point, trying to get it over to Tice. Tice going to poke this one outside the wing. Jake's just going to dump it in. And it's going to go behind the net. 8:23 to go here in this third period. The Minus gets just smacked by Falls alongside the board.
They are finishing their checks here in KB Willett.
Here's a chance up front, and a nice pad save by Wagner. Quick wrister there by Conant, nothing doing. Nice backhanded pass.
Still very physical in this game with a little less than 8 minutes
Absolutely,
left.
a lot of game left in this one. Stevens Point trying to make this a 2-point game here. Try to close this one out here, but still plenty of time here for Stout to get back in this. Daikawa, nice outlet pass to Conant. Conant just going to hand it back to Moore. Quickly up the ice. Nice move, but he gets checked there by Hummerstone, and now Stevens Point has it. Give it back to Brett. Now nice outlet pass up to Cody Moline.
Can't control it.
Absolutely right, cannot control it, and here comes Stout on the push. Putting the brakes on, now quickly passing it. Oh, there was a chance. Ooh, if that one can find the stick, guys, this could have been a 3-3 game. Chiarino gets caught up and takedown, and nothing called there as Armatario hits the deck. They're letting him play here tonight, that's for sure.
It's nice always, but
Chiarino chats up front. Oh, he just hits a defender. Then another backhanded shot, nothing doing.
Another wonderful save by Masternak.
Yeah, it could have just slipped over his right shoulder there, but good save. Wow.
That shot, oh, way outside.
See you later there. Home run.
Get up, get out of here, go on, as Bob Bucher would say.
Hey, Brewers baseball starting back up tomorrow.
Take on the Dodgers in spring training
in Arizona.
We'll see a lot of interesting young prospects for the Brewers coming up in the system. Obviously, some trades made in the offseason to bring in, William Contreras.
The better Contreras, in my opinion.
The better Contreras, he says. He definitely had a better season last year. There's no question about it. Coming up from Atlanta. The other Contreras brother, obviously Wilson Contreras, played for the Chicago Cubs in that 2016 World Series. He was the last player remaining on the Cubs last year, but now he remains in the NL Central. He just plays for the St. Louis Cardinals. But
even better.
Even better, as we're going to put it.
Yeah, no. Obviously, with the legendary Yadier Molina and Adam Wainwright, those guys starting to call them quits, and
what a career they've had, too.
You have to imagine that Yadier Molina is probably a first ballot Hall of Fame.
Absolutely, no question.
Defensively,
no question about it.
Well, I would say offensively, too, in his prime.
Kind of an underrated hitter in his prime.
One of the best, if not the best, catcher you're going to ever see in the game of baseball. But
yes.
Here comes back to the action of Stevens Point related athletics. Andrew Polias and Hart on the draw here. Important face-off coming as a tie-up, and it's going to be corralled by the Blue Devils. Chiarino fighting alongside the boards with Tetrel. Machario trying to get it now. It finds the stick of Noah Perez. Keller now with it, intercepted here by Armatario. Moore coming in, and an outlet pass over to Andrew Polias, and offsides is the call. For the face-off coming here at center ice. But no matter what the outcome of this game is, game here tomorrow night, but we talked about it, the impact of winning these opening games on a series, because
you get that momentum.
Give that momentum, and tomorrow, no matter what happens, if there's
somebody is moving on.
Somebody's moving on. in essence, 2 games, and I say 2 games in air quotes. There's 4 periods, 4 regulation periods. If Stevens Point drops today, and they
Which
play
begs the
tomorrow
question: why don't you just play 1 game and get it over
sudden
with?
death kind of situation,
Exactly.
like what they do for the championship.
Exactly. It would honestly probably keep things a little bit cleaner too.
Yes.
6 minutes to play here in regulation here in KB Willett Arena. Stevens Point has the 1-score lead. It is 3-2, and Moline hits the deck as Bannickstead takes him down. Now he gets the puck back, trying to set up the offenses of the Blue Devils, but they can't control it. Stevens Point now with the puck. A little frustration settling in here for the Blue Devils. Isaac Moberg surveying, trying to go 1-on-5, and he tried to send it back to a teammate. There was just nobody there. Across the ice, Stewart over to Hummerstone. He dumps it in the zone. Icing is going to be called.
Well, Fader not happy about that call. Sorry, excuse me, Wilson Northey not happy about that call. I think maybe he thinks that he tapped it in, but as always, linesmen have the best view on the ice, so it'll be icing.
Absolutely right. 5:20 to go here in the 3rd period in KB Willett Arena. And you're listening to Pointers Hockey right here on WWSP, Stevens Point 90 FM, and watching live right here on SBTV's YouTube channel. Northey going to get it here at center ice for Stevens Point. He'll just dump it in the zone. No icing called. And fighting for it in the corner is Tice and Hyde. I don't know what they're doing. And Hyde's just trying to push Tice against the boards. Junker, and hitting the deck there was Conant. And Stevens Point, neither side can really get a good grip here on the puck.
Might actually end up being icing at the end.
No, it is not.
Waved it off.
Last second, well, I think the player got to it. No trip. Oh my goodness.
Now that one, we've kind of I've understood why they've let a little bit of those go, but that one is as blatant as they come. I think it was about as textbook as you can possibly call tripping. And we got to be not biased here, but I mean, come on.
Some of these calls have definitely not gone in favor of Stevens Point. Yet they still have a 1-score lead, and I think you're absolutely right here, Liam, that they can convert on some of these plays and
just find something with their offense here.
Masternad doesn't make these just absolutely absurd saves. This is maybe a completely different game. Poking that puck free is Stevens Point. Hennigan just dumps it in the zone, and they're going to get some substitutions on the ice. Noah Falls comes in here for Hennigan. Quickly dumping it. Ooh, they were trying to go right to Noah. Straight away. He'll dump it behind the net back to Bunting. 3:41 to go here for Stevens Point. They still have the 1-point lead here, guys, as here comes Stout here on a push. Halverson tried to get it over to Bannickstead, and instead he banks it to himself. Bannickstead now with it up top, and it goes, it will stay in play from our position, and maybe it looked like he was going to go out, and Stevens Point now has it on the push. Falls, and offsides is going to be the call. They had to dump it in. 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go in this one. Stout on the push. Moore now with it. He loses it. It comes back to center ice, and Stevens Point has it. Ooh, nice pass there, but that gets intercepted by the Blue Devils, and here they come. Stout, a chance to tie this one up. Where's the puck? It goes behind the net. Nice job defensively by Stevens Point. Really, guys, pretty chaotic past couple minutes. Jordan Fader gets taken. He loses his stick. Again, just gets caught up there with the defender. At what point you guys are probably thinking, when are they going to make a call?
You know what? For sure. With how these kind of have been going, I wouldn't be surprised if they make some call here in the last 2 minutes that's going to swing it one way or the other. Or there's going to be one crucial thing that they miss that is probably going to swing. And of course, they're only human. They're going to make mistakes. And they are keeping it consistent. They're just letting them play.
You're absolutely right. One thing you said earlier, Liam, it was a 2-2 game. You're like, first team to score next wins. Stevens Point scored next. Will they win? Nice interception there. There's a chance up front in the slot. A lot of congestion here as Stout's now got the offense going. Moore with it up top. Moore over to Hyde. That one goes wide. Wagner just kind of threw up a mitt, trying to get a deflection on that one. There's another shot. That one goes up front. Oh,
boy.
my goodness.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wow. That is, there's a perfect chance there for Stout to score as Wagner was on all fours and just no position to make a save. You couldn't have a more open net as David Hill tried to put some damage and just completely whiffed on a hit. Oh,
Guys are falling all over the ice.
hitting
What
the
is-
deck here. It looks like guys are just losing. And pulling the goaltender is
I told
Stout.
you, they're going to call a penalty. I told you it was going to happen. They're going to get him for interference, I think.
Man,
Wow.
goodness. So not only are they going to have, no, it was an icing. There's no penalty, I don't think.
So now for Stevens Point, they just got to play good defense right here. And, I mean, they pretty much close this game out with good defense here.
I think you're absolutely right. Regardless, they're going to have the man advantage here as Stout has pulled their goaltender. Trying to tie this one up here in the later stages. Here comes Stevens Point. They got an empty net. Try to get it over to Fletcher Anderson. Will this do it if they can put it in the net? And they do!
Fletcher Anderson, he just beats Stout every single time. That is 5 goals in 4 games for Fletcher Anderson.
His second one of the night. An empty netter. And with 1 minute and 8 seconds, Stevens Point
I think that's going to put this one under wraps.
is well on their way to a victory here in the semifinal round, but you still
Have a minute left to
have
play.
1 minute and 8 seconds left. They're going to send Masternad back to the. I'm a little surprised about that.
Their timeout's been called.
There's a timeout taken, but 1 minute 8 seconds left. Yes, they did just. There's just an empty net goal here, but I'm thinking, ooh, guy, I think you got to keep the man advantage if you're Stout. If you want to have any hope at it.
Speaking of scoring, Superior now is down 5-4 in this game. 11:54 into the third period here, so
There's plenty of
kind of
time.
heating up there.
Plenty of time left here.
Oh, by the way, Bucks win 128-99 against Miami Heat.
A more important thing is Giannis leaves the game from Milwaukee with a knee injury. Now Jay Crowder playing in his first game for Milwaukee since being acquired from Phoenix, or the double 2-team trade, and as Kevin Durant went from Brooklyn to Phoenix, now at multiple team trade, whatever. Jay Crowder is a Milwaukee Buck, his first game as a Buck.
Drew Holiday leads scoring in 24 points.
You know when Giannis goes out, then you're gonna need a big showing here.
Pointer faithful, giving them a round of applause for their performance here
Takes
tonight.
off a tie-up win here. 4-2 is the score here. And Stout's going to just keep playing. Stevens Point looks like they want to score here with just a minute remaining in this one.
Get those free tacos, boys.
That's what they want, but I don't know if they have
Do you think they're going to pull him again?
they shouldn't at this point.
Well,
there's only 50 seconds left.
They have, usually it's 1 or 2 goals that they'll pull him at, and he's coming out like he's going to, asking the bench,
like
and he will.
Yeah, he is.
They get the extra man here. Again, if Stevens Point, like you said, student section is going to go nuts here if Stevens Point can get another empty net. Here's a shot and then stick in the lane. That ends that threat. Empty net, 4-2-2 is the score. 20 seconds left in this one.
Only a little bit of time for free tacos.
18 seconds left now. Stout looking to try to get a quick score here. Only 10 seconds left in this one. Stout with a shot. That one goes up and out of play.
Ooh, the drama.
8.3 seconds left, so it's unlikely, but
There's still a chance for tacos. I want tacos here.
I'm not even talking about tacos. I'm saying
Oh, for Stout, yeah.
for
man.
Stout,
There's
you
still-
need a face-off shot goal, and then a face-off possession,
Win.
get down the ice and score.
Immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the Pointers should not, just kind of sit back because you never know what can happen.
Yeah, don't give up here. Well, student section wanting tacos, and they're probably not going to get it right here, but
With 4
3
seconds
seconds
left to go. Just pin it alongside the boards, and you got yourself a semifinal victory as Stevens Point takes out Stout 4-2 in a very, very entertaining first game of this series, guys. What a way to finish this one. What a game. Couldn't ask for
amazing.
much more here on a Friday night.
No, you had great saves. You had just back and forth the whole time. It was physical. There was a lot of drama. Could not ask for anything better in a hockey game. And Stout should not feel ashamed with the way that they played tonight, because Masternak played out of his mind. The defense was on point. It's really not on them. That I think the goal that kind of started it, it was just a fluke deflection in front. They cannot be upset about how they played.
I definitely wouldn't be upset about it, too. They raced on the ice really good, and Masternak, like you said, he had a really good game after that first period. So, really, it's not a bad loss, but now you got to come back tomorrow and try to win it.
Regardless, they have another game tomorrow. They need 2 more tomorrow in order to win, and they were definitely in it all the way here. Obviously, Stevens Point got an empty net and a big time goal that I don't think I don't know if it was an earned goal, but Stevens Point wins the game 4-2, guys. They take the 1-0 lead in the series and look to try to close it out again tomorrow night. Well, guys, I think that's really going to do it here. 4-2, the final score. Looking ahead tomorrow's game, what can we expect to see out of Stevens Point here for tomorrow?
For Stevens Point, they just got to continue this success. At the end of this third period, they were really looking themselves. They just got to continue this going and keep the momentum up.
Absolutely, and I think that from Stout, they're going to, kind of come back with a vengeance. It's kind of do or die at this point. They've got to get a win tomorrow, so we have to win tomorrow in order to keep it going. So I think they're going to come out and be more physical than they were today.
And Brody, some final stats here, looking at shots on goal.
Quick stats here. Stevens Point ends with 42 shots. During this game, only got 10 in this last period. Stout only got 9 in this last period, giving them 28 for the total game. In this period, couple goals by each team. Gonrowski for the Pointers. Maxis Bremanis, tough name to say, scored for Stout in this period. And Fletcher Anderson with the empty netter, but solid game out of Fletcher tonight. He had 2 goals and an assist in this game.
You're absolutely right. Great game for Fletcher. What else can he do against Stout this year? And
I think
the
he
Blue
just
Devils.
always-
The
he's
Blue
been
Devils are
amazing.
going to wake up tomorrow morning and think, "Oh God, is he playing?"
They're going to see him in his nightmares tonight.
Regardless, we got another game tomorrow, and you're going to hear it again right here on 90 FM. Tomorrow, 6:55. That is the start. Well, that is going to do it, guys, here for our broadcast right here in KB Rural Arena. For my partners, Brody Kupsky, Liam Statz, I'm Will Haroldson. I also want to thank Abby Kufahl for doing the camera work for the SPTV live stream. We're going to send it back to the studio at 90 FM for some more music. So you are listening to WWSP, Stevens Point 90 FM, your only alternative.